Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the project we're making today. Okay, so let me give you the supplies. We've got Pretty Peacock cardstock, and this measures 8.5 by 11. We will not be cutting this down. We're going to actually use the entire piece of cardstock. Then I've got Whisper White, a half a sheet. I've got 2 pieces of the Dino Roar Designer Series paper, and these measure 4 by 4. Then I have 2 pieces that measure 4 by 1.5. 1 piece that measures 3/4 by 10 inches. And then the dinosaur, he's missing his legs or his feet, but that's okay because we're going to cover that up with the greeting here. And then 1 more piece of Pretty Peacock. This is for the handle, and that's 10 by 1. Okay, so what we'll do first is actually stamp our images. There's going to be quite a bit of these to cut out using the coordinating dies. So we're using the Dino Days stamp set with the coordinating framelits along with the Stitch Shapes dies. Okay, that's for this oval right here. Okay, so I'm going to move all this out of the way, and we're going to start with Pretty Peacock ink, and we're going to stamp these. Now, this is a photopolymer stamp set, so you do want to use your Stampin' Mat. So I'm going to pick up my Whisper White cardstock and stamp these. Okay, we need 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're also going to stamp the greeting with Pretty Peacock. Okay, so now we can close that color. And we're going to use Lovely Lipstick for the tree. I don't know, is that a trunk? Okay. And we can close that one up. And our last ink is going to be Old Olive. And that's this image. Okay, so all of our stamping is done. So I have gone ahead and cut out most of these, but not all of them. So we're going to go ahead and use the ones that I've cut out. Let me show you the framelits. So this one would be cutting out that, and this one would be cutting out that one, and this one cuts out this one. So I've gone ahead and done that off camera, but I've saved 2 for us to use in the video. Okay, so let me get the big shot and we will cut that out. Okay, so here's the greeting. I'm just going to use the stitched oval die. There's that one. And now let's cut out the dinosaur, the T-Rex. Okay, so now let's get all of our pieces back in here. There's the dinosaur. Here's our greeting. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside and we're going to now make the box. Okay, so I'm going to place the Pretty Peacock cardstock on the 11-inch side, and I'm going to score it at 4.5 and 6.5. And then I'm going to turn it on the 8.5-inch side, and I'm going to score it at 2 and 6.5. You're going to fold on the score lines. This is a super simple box to make. I am using my bone folder. Okay, now take your scissors and you're going to cut up to the score line, and then you're going to trim this tab a little bit on each side. Okay, same thing on this side. Cut up to the score line and then trim the tabs. Okay, we're going to add tear and tape on these two tabs and on these two pieces here. I'm going to be conservative on my tear and tape because I have made 3 of these boxes now. Yeah. One more. Okay, so now I'm going to take your pick tool and remove the backing to the tear and tape and bring that up. Same thing over here. And then now remove the backing on the side panels. Okay, there's our box. So the seam will go in the back. Okay, now let's add these pieces of Designer Series paper. So I'm going to turn them over, grab my glue, I made this box on my Monday evening Facebook Live video. And I was gonna actually share that one with you. I wasn't gonna edit it. I was just gonna, well, I was gonna edit it and I was gonna share it. And I forgot to save it to my phone, and the downloaded version is a lower quality. So I just decided to refilm this, and yeah, I just decided to refilm it. So it'll be a much quicker, cleaner version anyway. And I won't be chatting about all the reality TV shows that we were discussing last night. Okay, now we're going to add these two side panels. Make sure when you're cutting your cardstock that you cut it, or your Designer Series paper, you cut it so that these can go up and down as well. I guess you don't have to, but it would be ideal. Okay. And I do have some chick candy to announce to you guys today that will be only announced on this video. So leave a comment on my blog on this box. So it'll be the Dino Days large gift bag. Yeah, box bag. I'm not sure what to call it. And what is it? I have it right here. So this is Chick Candy 32. All you got to do is leave a comment. And it's these, what are they called? These are retired All Is Bright paper clips. There's a bunch of them in there. I think this is like 1.5 packages. They're retired, so I'm giving them away. Now let's work on the handle. So I'm going to take my strip of Designer Series paper and add liquid glue to it. Oh, so here's my question for you. When you leave me a comment on my website to enter to win, let me know. Do y'all hear the birds in the background? You know, they won't be quiet. It's almost like they can sense. Well, they can hear me down here. So the minute that I start filming, they start squawking. Of course, they are leaving with Brooke to go to college next month. Okay, so I'm going to curl this with my bone folder. Okay, now what we're going to do is I have 2 metallic brads, and they come in our metallic brads assortment pack. And I'm going to take your pick tool, and I'm going to punch a hole right in the middle, right about there. Okay, now I'm going to take this, I'm going to place it in there, and I'm going to punch that hole again. Okay, and then I'm going to take my brad there we go. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So if you have the retired 1/8 inch circle punch, feel free to use that. Same thing, just punch a hole. This is a very nice size box. I'll give you an idea in just a second. So it stands 4.5 inches tall and 4.5 inches wide and 2 inches deep. And so here's 3 ink pads, and all 3 of those will fit in there. So that kind of shows you just how big it actually is. Okay, so now we need a 1-inch circle so that we can make that tree. I'm going to move this out of the way so that we can work. And I've got my silicone mat here. So we're going to take all of these pieces and we're going to start at the bottom of the tree. Okay, so I'm going to start with 2 of them, and I'm going to add my liquid glue right down here at the bottom. Place one down and then place the other one down. Okay, so give that a second. Oops, wrong end. And then add this one. If I do this fast enough, if I mess up or they look a little cattywampus, you can move them around. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm kind of speeding up a little bit, so that way if it doesn't look good, I can shift it. That looks pretty good. That's okay. Okay, so this time, there we go. Okay, so there's my tree. I did mess up and add the top of the tree to the bottom, but that's okay. This liquid glue dries clear, so I will take my adhesive remover and run it over it once it dries, just to remove any of that residue. Okay, so I still need to keep this though, because we're gonna get our box over here, and let's see, this is gonna go here. And you can decide, do you want to cover up the brad or do you not? And so I'm okay with it showing. So I'm going to turn it over and add a couple of dimensionals to the back. And then he's also going to get added with a dimensional, but first we want to add his little spiky things. So I'm going to add the liquid glue to the edge of those spikes. Yeah, there's no way you're not hearing Elvis today. Okay, now turn that over, and we're going to add a couple dimensionals. Now we're going to add him right about there, and then this is going to go here. So we could have raised him up a tad because this is going to go down here. Okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way, get 2 more Stampin' Dimensionals, and then I've got these Dynaroar enamel shapes. So I'm gonna add one over here, and then this one over here. And then we just want to add the grading. Don't forget, there's a free PDF on my website, and when you're there printing that, leave a comment to enter to win the chick candy I just showed you a couple minutes ago. Okay, so thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye.